Our first scripture reading today is the opening verses of John's Gospel. The words will be familiar to most. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God. But today we will hear this passage with different words. We know today that much of John's description of Jesus comes from the seldom mentioned wisdom texts of the Old Testament. John chose to avoid using the word wisdom because its strong association with the Gnostics at the time, and so substituted the Greek word logos, which became understood in English as the Word. This is unfortunate because we have lost the connection of the person Jesus to the Hebrew Sophia, or wisdom. John, however, recognized the wisdom of God that was present in Jesus and builds his story around that universal wisdom. Now we will hear this passage with this connection made obvious. Reading John chapter 1, verses 1 to 9 and 14. In the beginning was wisdom, and wisdom was with God, and wisdom was God. All things came into being through wisdom, and without wisdom not one thing came into being. What has come into being in wisdom was Jesus, and Jesus was the light of all people. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. There was a man of God whose name was John. He came as witness to testify to the light, so that all might know wisdom through him. He himself was not the light, but he came to testify to the light. The true light, true wisdom, which enlightens everyone, was coming into the world. And wisdom became flesh and lived among us. And we have seen wisdom's glory, full of grace and truth. Our second reading gives us a description of Sophia, or wisdom, that was part of the Hebrew understanding of God. As we hear this passage, notice how closely the description fits the character of Jesus that we experience in the various gospel stories. Reading from the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verses 22 to 31. Inside wisdom there is a spirit of intelligence and holiness that is unique and unmistakable, subtle, dynamic, perceptive, pristine, unclouded, unconquerable, compassionate, shrewd, compelling, generous, and loving towards mortals, faithful, faultless, serene, directing all, knowing all, and pervading every intelligent, pure, and most subtle spirit. Wisdom is a breath of the power of God, a pure light of the glory of God. She is the light that shines forth from everlasting light, and the perfect image of the Holy One's goodness. God loves the one who finds a home in wisdom. May these words open us to Spirit's presence.
And may wisdom come to us this day.